What got you into sheep hunting?
My dad. My dad was a sheep hunter. Still is a sheep hunter.
Really?
Yeah, my dad killed a Grand Slam. I think he killed his last sheep or not his last sheep. I think he killed his fourth sheep for his first lamb. I think in '87.
Really?
So I grew up with sheep. I grew up admiring sheep and hearing the stories. All his buddies would come over and the old school sheep hunter. You know, like before the good clothes, and they were like 30 day bighorn hunts in Alberta and British Columbia back then. You know. So I got old enough and wanted to start sheep hunting, and my dad said, if you're serious about it, if you're really serious about sheep hunting, he said, go get a personal loan, book your hunts, and do it. Well, Dad, I was like 29. I said, I can't do that. That's some good advice, but it's stupid. I gotta start my life. And he goes, you're gonna be fine. Your life's gonna be fine. You're gonna, you have good work ethic and everything. Life's gonna be good. Sheep hunt when you're young. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna make lifelong friends. Go get a loan and do it. So I did.
Really?
I did that. Got a personal loan and booked hunts, and because of that, I have lifelong friends. I mean, the guide on my stone sheep hunt, young kid. He owns his own outfit now. Now we're good friends. He was just here for the holidays.
Really?
Yeah, you know, his
Maestri says
whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was. My dad was 100% right on that. Best thing I ever did.
You've got a Grand Slam?
Mm-hmm.
Couple of them?
Couple, yeah.
Nice.
Very lucky. I've drawn 2 bighorn tags and made a lot of friends through the years, and just been lucky enough to be able to go kill some sheep.
Yeah. What's the bottleneck now to a Grand Slam? Is it the bighorn?
I think it's the bighorn. Yeah. I mean, the bighorn's tough to get financially and draw tag. The stone sheep's getting expensive. I mean, 10 years ago, desert sheep was the most expensive. Now it's the stone. Stone sheep are a lot of dang money, and they're going to go up. They keep going up.
Do you think that's because, like, films and stuff made it look really romantic?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook.
Insta-famous?
Insta-famous, exactly.
Kuyu did a good job with their
Kuyu
films.
did a great job blowing sheep wide open and screwing it up for everybody else. But no, I love Kuyu. I love the guys that are up there also, but they were the innovators for sure.
Yeah. And
they put sheep hunting in people's mind.
Yeah. Well, it made people. It made there was some romance to it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Kuyu was the catalyst to me going. I could get my kids into hunting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I hunted and
neat.
I had Badlands camel, and it was bulky. And if you were gonna take a couple coats or some, like, you had a pack full of stuff.
Oh, exactly.
And
100%.
When a guy showed up, I bow hunted with him, and he had Kuyu, and I was like, I saw his layering system and stuff, and I went, that's how I could keep my kids dry and warm. And I thought, and so I started, buying some stuff and trying it out, and I reconnected with Burns. We met years ago when he was still in college, and and that's the only reason my kids hunt today is because, 10 years ago, I was like,
that's cool.
That's how I can keep them, because they get wet and cold.
Oh, of course.
They're done.
Of course, and they're done forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, they made sheep hunting.
Yeah, I think of my first sheep hunt. My first dull sheep hunt I went on. My grandfather just passed away. I was kind of in a down mood, and I went to Walmart, got hiking pants, and a raincoat, and just went. Now I feel like I can't do anything unless I got a whole layering system, Yeah.
I don't know how many deer I killed off the school bus in high school with like a hoodie on and Wranglers.
Oh, exactly.
And now it's like, you gotta have this.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Yep.
Times have changed. And, an M77 Ruger 270 and a 4-power Redfield scope.
Oh, 3 to 9, you're special.
Yeah. And now it's like,
now you just click.
Yeah.
Now you have rangefinders and click away. Oh, 600-700 yards, let it rip. Let one fly.
Right.
Yeah, I remember my first stone sheep hunt. We were like, I don't know, I want to say like 400 yards from them, and man, I told my buddy, I said, we just gotta get closer. He goes, oh, we're gonna get closer. It's just way too far. It's way too far. Now it's just like, let it fly, man. Let's pound them.
Yeah.
And that wasn't that many years ago. 15 years ago, that's how much things have changed. Now you just dial it up and range find it, and
Yeah.
and that's a whole nother topic. Long range shooting versus hunting, but
What made you guys want to do the Merc?
we sold our ranch, and I don't know, last few years, every year, we'd eat in the Merc, and then the owner would come through, and Kirsten and I'd be, hey, you ready to sell this place? And there's always a no. Finally, a couple of years ago, he said, you know what, I'm thinking about selling. And we just loved the atmosphere in there, so we
Yeah.
pushed forward and put a deal together and bought it. And never been in the restaurant business ever, but now we kind of are. We own the Merc, which is a cool little pizza place,
Yeah.
and we love it. We have a great time in there. It's kind of like the heartbeat of Bighorn,
Yeah.
and I get to go in there and visit with everybody and kind of know what's going on, and it's like a big barbershop. You just know everybody's business.
It's like a diner.
Exactly,
Like a small town
exactly,
diner.
yeah, exactly. And it's fun. It's good food. People travel from a long way away to go there and eat, and it's just fun.
Do you have any idea how many pizzas a year you make?
Oof, no, that's a great question. I'll do the math. I can find out.
It's got to be.
It's a lot. I mean, we make a lot of pizzas. Lots of them.
Yeah. And
For
Angela.
a little shop like that, we crank them out.
Yeah.
It's fun. Angela, our general manager, she's the bomb. We wouldn't be able to do it without her. Wouldn't want to do it without her.
I started getting the barbecue chicken calzone with jalapenos in it. Whoa.
That's deadly. Deadly good.
I think I
Actually, we
could
just got a big batch of jalapenos in there. Were hot. Did you get that last night? Was it hot?
Yeah.
The jalapenos are spicy this time.
Libby bit into one and she's like, whoa!
Yeah, we got a batch of really hot jalapenos. It's normally not that spicy, but this last batch is like, holy smokes.
I like the calzones that you guys make because I've always loved the crust. And
Yeah.
with a calzone, you get twice as much. It
That's
feels
right.
like, so.
And it's a big meal. It's a big meal.
Yeah. I think I could eat a whole one, but I'd be sick.
You wouldn't want to.
No.
Yeah. We had a ranch we ranched in Nevada for a lot of years, northern Nevada. Very remote, big desert operation. We wanted to change because there's a lot of public land, and we were getting overrun with wild horses, and they were protecting the horses, and the horses would reproduce every year, obviously, and because there was more horses, they'd cut our cow numbers. So anyway, we just sold out. Got so tired of the BLM that we wanted a 100% deeded ranch. And Texas was affordable then, so we went to Texas, northern Texas first. Didn't like it. Didn't like the culture at all up there. Went down south near Houston area, and just didn't love it. There's no mountains, very little public land. Just wasn't perfect. So we sold that ranch, and of course we were on a time schedule to find another place. So there were some criteria in a state we wanted to be in. One was tax-friendly states. We narrowed down to a few states. Wyoming was on top of the list, and went to a few different ranches in Wyoming. And anyway, went to we actually looked at a place in KC called the Pine Ridge Ranch. It was for sale at the time. Really liked it. Called my dad today. This is a good spot. Let's do it. He goes, well, there's one more ranch in Sheridan. I go, man, tired. I don't feel like doing it. I've been looking at ranches for months. So anyway, I said, okay, I'll meet the realtor. So I drove up to Sheridan, drove downtown Sheridan, and loved it. I said, oh my God, this is a great town for a cow town, basically,
Yeah.
a rural town. Had just enough culture, some bronzes of it. I pulled in, saw those sheep bronzes, and I saw that guy packing that elk out. I said, man, this is a cool town. Anyway, the next day, went out to go look at that ranch, drove around, loved the ranch, great cattle country, saw a lot of game, and that's what we did.
Hmm. Now,
Been here ever since.
did you buy it after the fire went through?
We bought it. There was a big fire actually when we were in escrow. And
The Ash Creek fire, right? Like that was in 2012 or
no,
something?
I don't know if it was the Ash Creek. I don't know what they called it. And then we had a big fire a year later, 2 years later. It was a big fire. It
Yeah.
was good. It cleaned a bunch of that old juniper up, and
Yeah.
it was a good fire actually. We needed it.
Yeah.
It brought a lot of the elk in actually. I still think that fire is responsible for bringing a lot of elk into Wyoming.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Into Area 129.
Yep. From that after that fire, a lot of elk came in while trying to get that fresh feed from
Yeah.
Montana. Because there's too many elk in Montana.
Well, and all that Otter Creek country and Taylor Creek and all that stuff, when it burned, the only logical place for those elk to go was
Those guys-
south. Dax's. Well, I said in that video that I put on the other day of the girls, I'm like, he's had a front row seat to my kids killing elk since 2017. I couldn't say enough good things about that
That's
guy.
awesome.
Those guys taught me a lot about hunting elk that I thought I knew, but when you hunt with good guys like that,
You learn.
well, you learn how much sometimes you don't know.
No, 100%. I don't know anything about elk hunting.
They, the biggest thing that I've learned from those guys is they take such a, like, I like to go in a straight line at things, and those guys, they'll go out of their way to
Oh,
not
sure.
ever get seen,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
and maybe it's just 50 or 60 yards difference on the line that
Mhm.
I want to take up a
Mhm.
hill and they do, but I'm like, maybe if I would have been doing this my whole life, I would have killed more stuff.
Exactly. I've never called for elk. I've never done cow calls. Or my theory is or not theory, but my method is find them and just go kill them before you even make a noise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worked, but find them and just go smoke one. I'm not a bow hunter, so
Yeah.
just go find the bull and kill it.
What? Yeah. Why alert them that they're there?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I still think that the elk herd on our old place was so small that those bulls and cows knew everybody. They knew each other's voices.
Mm-hmm.
So if you came in there and started blowing on a call, they'd be like,
That's not
"You're
right.
not from around here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't like thousands of elk there stalking. Find them, go kill them.
Well,
Just go
Brendan.
snipe them and be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan said it probably best one time. He said, I like to hunt elk where elk are being elk. You don't have to
Exactly.
call them.
That's right.
There
I
haven't
agree.
been people gone in there and screwed it up.
I agree. Yeah, I
Just-
agree with that.
If there was going to be a movie made about your life, who would play you?
Huh. When I want to play me?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know his name. Darn it. What movies has he been in? He's been the head actor for The Fugitive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford?
No, it's not Harrison Ford. It's my mind's blank. Fugitive and a couple other movies. It'll come to me. Oh, he was Captain Call in Lonesome Dove.
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah. I love that guy. He'd be badass.
He comes up here for polo.
I know. I want to meet him. I want to say, dude, he's my favorite actor.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, I think he's kind of got a mean streak too, like in real life.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he had some road rage once and knocked somebody out in a car or some hilarious thing. I don't know. I think I read it or heard it.
Well, and
But he'd be awesome. He'd probably do a way better job in my life than I did, for sure. But
oh, I don't know about that. What? Okay, so Tommy Lee Jones is playing you in your movie, and you're on set because you want to make sure he gets one element of your life right. What would it be?
protecting the honesty. You know what I mean? How do I say it? Protecting. When you're honest with people all the time, people think you're not being honest. People think you're full of crap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I've not heard it said like that.
yeah. So if he, that's what I want. People don't like honesty.
No.
They don't like people who are honest either. They think, oh, that guy's XYZ because
Right.
he said this and this about something. But normally, if you tell it, people do not like the truth.
A friend of mine used to say, or he still says it, I just haven't heard him say it in a long time, the truth is never the problem.
That's true.
Like, all the things that lead up to the truth being spoken, those things are the problem. But saying it out loud,
That's not the
it's
problem.
not the problem.
I see.
Like-
That's what I believe. That's the way I feel. Yeah.
Like, if my wife came up to me and said, you're getting fat.
It's true. I mean, not you, but
That's
But
not
if
the
that's the
problem. It's
truth-
like all the things that led up to that.
exactly.
Are the
Don't get mad at her because she's being truthful.
I know. But people, there's a long line of people go stretches around the block that don't like me, and it's because I told them the truth.
Exactly. Yeah, they called me Captain Kuth in college. I mean, here it is. Here's the truth. Like it or not, sorry. But that's what I would want him to portray. I think.
Hmm.
I mean, my wife, my son, and a handful of friends, and what else do you really need?
Yeah.
The older I get, the more I realize that.
And the older you're
Like
a
a
couple years
cigar,
older than
you
me.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I
true.
I want a couple good dogs and a nice shotgun.
Right, exactly.
My wife and my kids. Everybody else can pound sand.
I agree, man. 100%.
Because everybody uses the F word gets thrown around a lot, right? Friends, and most of it is a small F. Like,
Exactly.
if all hell broke loose, they wouldn't show up.
It's true. Who
So-
would show up?
Capital F.
Who's going to show up to help you?
The capital F friends, I can count those on one hand.
Me too. Probably less than a hand, probably. But you're right.
So we had a ranch at Ashland,
Mhm.
and the neighbor was the word that got used all the time.
Right.
But it was a description of who was going to show up and help you, not the proximity to where they lived. Like, we had neighbors that were 30 miles away that we would
True.
neighbor with.
That's true.
And then you come to a town and you live on a street and you're like, they're like, those are your neighbors. Well, they live next to me, but the word neighbor where I grew up was like, they'd show up to help you put up a barn when your wife had cancer.
Exactly. Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
100% right.
But that's a dying
And
thing.
that's one thing I miss about ranching is the people. I don't miss the cows. I don't miss checking water, breaking ice or anything. But the people.
Yeah. What was your favorite season when you ranched?
I think fall. I think springtime.
Mm-hmm.
Things are coming alive and
Branding.
branding, and the whole world's coming alive. Might be trotting down the side of a hill and jump a baby antelope or maybe deer or
Right.
just cool. You know,
And when stuff starts to green up, and
everything's
it's fun.
happy. Senior in high school next year and gone.
It's crazy.
For me, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's flying an airplane and doing cross countries, and it's like, dude, you can't even like keep your room clean. You're gonna go fly somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like a whole other set of problems, or worries, I should say, worries.
That's
It's
funny.
like, dude, your car's a disaster. You can't go fly an airplane. Oh no, I'm doing. Yeah, whatever.
When did you get into flying?
I was in Texas, 2012. I think I sold it in 2012. The ranch in Texas was not super labor intensive. We had some hired hands. There's just different. I had a little bit extra time.
Uh-huh.
My grandmother kept saying, "You gotta go back to school. You gotta go back to school. You know, go take some classes." So I was driving through town of Victoria, and then an airport there. And there's a big sign that said, "Learn how to fly here." And I pulled in and said, "Hey, can you guys really teach me how to fly? It's something I've always wanted to do." And they said, "If you're serious, we'll teach you how to fly." And that's how
Was
it
your
started.
dad a pilot?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Nobody. No, I just wanted to fly.
How
I
long
didn't
did
caught
it-
myself looking up, you know, when I was a kid.
Yeah. How long did it take?
I went full power. I went as hard as I could, so it took me about a year, a little
Mhm.
over a year, and I was had my license. So
How many hours do you have now in your logbook?
about 1,000
Oh,
in my logbook. Yeah, I think I've flown more than that.
yeah.
Yeah. You know,
What was the first plane you bought?
we had a 172. My dad actually bought a 172, and we flew in that for a while. He sold it, and then I got the 182.
Yeah.
Yeah, King Cat, my 182.
The one you got now?
Yes, yeah. But you know, we had the ranch. We're, I don't know, 2 hours from town, from Sheridan, and in the airplane it was 15 minutes. So I was going back and forth at a little dirt strip. And the thing that really saved the time was I'd fly out to the ranch. If I was in town, I'd fly out to the ranch, and I'd be able to fly the whole ranch in like 5 minutes. And I would know if the waters were good, I'd know where the cattle were, I'd know if I needed to go fix a hole in a fence or fix a water trough.
Yeah.
It paid. And then now, since we sold the ranch, it's kind of, and that's not flying hardly at all. So the mission's kind of gone. I've got to find a new mission for flying.
Yeah.
It's hard just to go fire it up and go fly around. For me,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
kind of want to get into helicopters.
Dude, helicopters are awesome. Yes. Life is.
The problem with getting into a helicopter is then Brendan Burns is going to be around more.
He'll know. He'll know.